So we're just taking that same idea for literal equations, but now we're going to specifically be solving for y. And the majority of the time when we are solving for y, we're going to be in a specific form that's called standard form. Okay, and we're going to try and get y by itself, which means we'll start with something like 6x plus 2y equals 8. Now, this is a little, like one extra step further, because now not only do we have multiple letters, but we also have multiple numbers. Okay, the good news, though, is that it's the exact same process every single time. Okay, so if you follow the exact same process every single time, you should be good to go. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to decide if x and y, maybe I should say r, okay, we want to decide if x and y are together on the same side of the equal sign. And 90% of the time, the answer to that question is going to be why yes. Yes, they are. Okay, so do we see how over here we have x and y on the same side of that equal sign? Okay, so just like we were doing with the other literal equations, we will move that with addition and subtraction, because we always undo addition and subtraction first. Okay, that 6x functions as one big chunk, and it all gets moved together in one large piece. Okay, so is this 6x positive or negative? Positive. Positive, so how are we going to move a positive 6x? Subtract it, right? So we'll subtract 6x from each side. Now, just like before, we cannot combine 8 minus 6x. Okay, so if I have $8 and I hand Grace 6 bananas, how many dollars do I have? I still have $8, right? Because does me giving Grace 6 bananas have anything to do with how much money I have? No, right? These are completely unrelated things. So we cannot put them together. We just write them down how we see them, exactly like we were doing before. So that just stays as 8 minus 6x. Now, if you've seen in the past to rewrite it with the x first and you know how to make that adjustment, that's fine. We're just not going to do that yet. Okay, our second step is then going to be to divide by the number with y. When we divide by this number with y, because it's actually a number and not a letter, okay, we are going to divide in all 3 places. Just going to make it a little bit easier to reduce and or simplify. Okay, so I'm going to undo multiplying by 2 by dividing by 2. But when I divide, I'm just going to go ahead and pair that 2 up with each piece, because numbers can be simplified, right? That's not a variable, that 2 isn't a variable, so I can actually simplify that. Okay, so then let's actually reduce. That's going to be our third step, is going to be to reduce those numbers. And you can do this with a calculator as well if you need to. Yes, Ellie?
So I just have a question. When you're dividing those, can you like draw one big line and
You can, you just need to make sure you understand that it goes to both of them. Okay, so what is 8 divided by 2? 4. And what is 6 divided by 2? And so we'll get y equals 4 minus 3x. Again, if you know how to rearrange that and write your x first, that's fine. But again, we're just not focusing on that piece yet. Right now, we just want to get y by itself. So maybe we have 3x minus 2y equals 10. Step number 1 says are x and y on the same side? Yep, so if they are, we are going to move the x, okay, with either addition or subtraction. So is that 3x positive or negative? Positive. So how do we move a positive 3x? We subtract 3x. Okay, and again, I'm doing that once on each side of the equal sign, right? So that line coming straight down here, once on the right, once on the left. It cannot happen twice on the same side. And we have to be careful. These cancel each other out, but what number do I have left here? Negative 2y. Right, so now I have a negative 2y. And again, I'm writing down exactly what I see. No math computation yet. So just 10 minus 3x. My $10 have nothing to do with me giving Grace 3 bananas. Sorry, Grace, you're getting a lot of bananas today, apparently. I don't even like bananas that much. Maybe that's why I'm giving them all away. Okay, then our second step says to divide by the number with y. So what number do we have right here sitting here with y? Negative 2. So we're going to divide in every location. So what is 10 divided by negative 2? Negative 5. And what is a negative 3 divided by a negative 2? Okay, so a positive 1.5, 1 and 1/2, or myself who is a fraction friend, I'm just going to leave it as a 3 over 2x because that's less work for me to do. Right, two negatives make a positive, and then I'm just leaving the fraction as what I see. And so we'll get y equals negative 5 plus 3 over 2x.